Hey guys, welcome. So in today's video, we are going to start phase one of our gardening. So we got our area mapped out and we're gonna prep this area and then we're gonna put up our fence. So I'm gonna take y'all along with us and then we are going to start our gardening. So I'm super excited. Let's do this. So give this video a big thumbs up, hit the subscribe, and hit the bell notification so you know when we upload the next video. So we're going to start by prepping this area. First we have it marked off by these wooden blocks, and if you can see these little pickets. It's a 27 by 27 area. I was having trouble raking it because of this rake's kind of flimsy, so my husband started taking over. It's got a lot of rocks and sticks in this area, so we're gonna get those out of the way, and that way it's nice and clean for the surface. Then he put in the corner post, so we got these 5-foot T-posts, and we got two by the fence and one for the corner. We brought in these 4x4s and this panel that was left over for the fence because we are going to use this to build the gate. So while I'm picking up this pile of sticks and rocks, my husband is going to start drilling the first hole for the gate. So this auger we got at Lowe's, and it helps dig the post holes. That way we're not having so much trouble, digging it with the post hole shover. Now he's going to come and clean it out with the post hole digger. The post hole shover, the post hole digger. And we're going to position the first post. So I'm going to hold it while he is tampering it in, and I need to go get the post hole level, so that's what I'm going to go do. Right now we're just measuring and kind of making sure everything's lined out correctly. So go get the level and make sure everything's level. And now we're going to determine what size we want the gate. I had the bright idea of using the post, but he was like, no, let me measure it so we know that it's a good size and it matches the rest of the fence. So now I'm just waiting on him to go get everything we need to measure the gate. And so we determined that we are going to put the hinges on the gate to hold it up before we measure it, just to kind of hold it in place, and then that way we know exactly how we want it, because this fence is only going to be about 4 foot high. It's mainly to keep the dog out of the garden, and hopefully it helps with some small animals, but we do have a lot of rabbits out here, so we'll see how that works. So now we're measuring the fence so we know where to cut it, and not the fence, the gate. And this gate we're just kind of marking where the second post is going, and we're just building the gate ourselves because we had some extra materials, and why waste the money when you don't have to. So we're gonna cut all these pickets off, and then as you can see, we're taking the pickets off one by one. There is another bracket up there that I'm holding, and we will be using that to stabilize the gate in the middle. So now he's gonna drill the second hole for the post, and these posts we're going about 2 feet deep. We're not going to concrete them in, we're just putting them in the ground. So now we are going and tampering that dirt in, measuring, making sure that the post is not only level but fits with our latch so that everything lines up appropriately. When we got the materials for this, we're trying to find a wired gate, but there wasn't actually one that we could find that suited our needs. So we had decided to go with this wood panel that we had lying around for when we built the fence. Now, as you can see, it actually worked out pretty good. He just now installed the middle bracket, the one that was at the top we put in between the bottom two, and we are going to screw that into place with 1.5 inch wood screws. And then we are going to install the final hinge just to make sure, you know, it's sturdy and the other 2 hinges don't bend. And as you can see, my dog is having the best time of her life out here in this fence. She don't have to be on a leash no more. She's super excited and she's such a good girl. She's being a supervisor, coming over here, making sure that, you know, everything is lined out correctly. All right, so now we're going to install the 3rd post. And in order to do that, I ran a string line to make sure that it was lined up appropriately. Now, this was a 6-foot post because I had to run and get it last minute just to make sure that, you know, the poultry fencing was sturdy enough. And it was a little bit taller still, so I got up there and did my part of making it exactly 4 foot. Okay, and so now we're discussing how we want to till it. We have this Ryobi attachment that goes onto the weed eater, but it's not what we need for this ground. So we tried it and it was going to take a lot of work. And of course you can see my dog, she's barking at it. She's not having it. So this is me training her not to bark at the equipment. So I'm just pulling her to the side, getting her attention, having her sit and do some tricks while it's going on in the background. And then she goes back over there and starts barking at it again, acting like she wants to be a part. So every time she does that, I just get her attention and look, now she's digging. So I just try to get her attention, and I trained her not to bark at the tiller. So this is us discussing how the Ryobi attachment isn't going to work for this project. We tried really hard to get it to work, and it just wasn't what we needed. It would work for smaller projects, you know, people with softer ground, but out here where we moved, it is pretty rough. So we then decided that we were going to go and get this tiller. Now this tiller is obviously way bigger. This is a 4-cycle engine, and this is the next day. So we went to Home Depot. We picked up another tiller that was more suited to our needs. This was about $239, but it was a big investment that was well worth it. So I definitely recommend this tiller. It definitely works. There's Zelda, her barking at the tiller again. And my husband's like, no, you can't be in the tiller. So here we go. This is our training. So next time she goes over there, I'll get her attention, play with her, and desensitize her to the tiller. That way she's no longer barking at it and he can finish doing what he needs to do. And that was her that just came into the room. She opens that door and she just comes in. Hi, Zelly. There's our kids helping us pick up the yard. What, Mamash? All right, so there he goes tilling, and this took quite some time. This area was really compact, so it definitely needed to be tilled. And here's me picking up some of the rocks out of the area. Of course, I couldn't really do much in this section. But once he got further along, I was able to help more in this area. So I decided to grab the rake and go ahead and get out the bigger rocks and sticks while he was tilling. So once we got it tilled up and we started raking out the rocks and stuff, this area is going to be pretty decent area for the garden. We'll probably treat the soil here with some fertilizer just to ensure, you know, the plants are healthy and everything. But there he is helping me because this rake was really hard to use. It wouldn't comb through the dirt because it's a leaf rake. So here in a minute, I'm gonna leave again and we're gonna go and get the metal rake that we need for this area and a hoe so we could build the mounds, but we're not gonna build the mounds today. So this is the next part where I'm currently at the store and he's gonna finish tilling the area. And so he did a really good job on tilling it. He's so supportive, so that's good. It's nice to have your partner support your goals. So, and as you can see, Zelda's no longer barking at the tiller anymore. She's been one of the easiest dogs I've ever had to train. You know, she's pretty smart, so she just likes to be a part of everything and see what's going on. And you can hear her probably in the background. She's like, hey, let me in. That's my baby. Okay, so putting fuel. She's about to open the door. Yeah, there he goes. I think right here we have about 2 foot left, maybe a little bit more, but it's mostly tilled. This fence, we thought we were going to be able to get it done in one day. If we would have had the tiller, we probably would have, but it was a 2-day project. Not too bad. There's some things we could have did differently, but the final result actually turned out to be pretty good. So he's just going over the parts that he had tilled just to make sure everything's nice and prepped. And we wanted to get the tilling done of the whole area before we put up the fence. So this is me back again, and I'm raking out all those big rocks and sticks and stuff, just to make sure that we have some smooth dirt to work with whenever we go to plant the plants. Of course, it's still February. We're actually at the end of February, so we're not going to be planting probably till the end of March, maybe the beginning of April. But we wanted to get this area ready because that way we had it ready. Okay, so this is the poultry wire, and we bought 50 feet, which proved to be just enough for our 27 by 27 area for 2 sides. Should have we had did all 4 sides, you would have needed more post and more wire, but since I wanted it in this corner, we just used the back of the wood fence. So right here I am bending the wire over, clamping it into the little notches that these posts have, and I'm just wiring up that corner. And then my husband, you'll see him in a minute when my son gets out. He's actually going to be on the other side of the fence, so you're not going to see him in the shot, but we're actually wiring the green post to the brown post just to give us a little bit more stability. So there's my son. And there's my husband. And so we are wiring the green post to the wooden supports in our wood fence just for more stability and to ensure that we have the opportunity to pull and stretch the fence as needed. Now this wire isn't the easiest wire to work with. There's some things that I would have done different should I do this again. I would have made sure to get more staples to staple it to the wood poles. The way it is, we have it wrapped, wired around the wood poles. But as you can see, it actually turned out pretty good. It's not, and then of course this wire is harder to stretch. With most wire fences, you want a fence stretcher. We opted not to use one because one, we didn't have one today, and two, it's not a very big fence. So this should be okay for what we need it for. If it comes to it and we have to get a stretcher or a fence stretcher, I will let you know. So while he is doing that side of the fence, I am working on the other side. That's me getting more wires to wire it up to the other pole. And he is wiring it to the wood. Grabbing more wire and wiring it up. This part took the longest time, just wiring everything down, making sure that we had enough security. Now my husband's gonna go on the opposite side of the fence and we are gonna wire it to the fence like we did on the other side. And I don't know if you can see him back there, but he's on the other side of the fence now. So we're wiring it to the fence. There we go. And now we're gonna roll it out. We're gonna wire it to the middle pole, but my husband needs to come and stretch it for me so that I can get the wire it to that stabilizing post in the middle. And Zelda just thinks that's their home. She's like all happy there. So that's us pulling and stretching and pulling and stretching. Okay, now the corner post. Some more pulling and stretching. So our other camera decided it didn't want to work. It ran out of memory. So this is our fence. There is our door. He's about to put the handle on, and that is the last thing we got to do. And there it is. There is our garden area. Step back. So there's our completed garden area. It is 27 by 27. If y'all like this video, give us a big thumbs up. If you want to see more videos like this one, hit the subscribe button down below. And this concludes part 1 of our gardening series. So we'll see you in part 2. Y'all have a great week. Bye.